Watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Thank you for joining us on DC News Now. I'm Shanika Grimshaw. We have breaking news right now out of Virginia. Virginia Congressional Representative Gerry Connolly has died. His family announced his passing earlier this morning. He was 75 years old. Just weeks ago, Connolly announced he would not seek re-election as he continued his battle with cancer of the esophagus. Connolly represented Virginia's 11th district, covering Fairfax County since 2009. And the Connolly family saying in a statement, quote, "We are fortunate to share Gerry with Northern Virginia for nearly 40 years because that was his joy, his purpose, and his passion." The House Rules Committee also honored the former representative, holding a moment of silence for him this morning. All right, now let's check in with meteorologist Jackie Layer with how it is today. Jackie, it's been raining. Is it going to rain all day? Are we going to start to see some flooding maybe?
Yeah, there is that potential for some flooding out there through the day today. The main threat back out towards western Maryland, parts of West Virginia, that's where we have that slight risk for that excessive rainfall outlook. So those are the areas that saw that flash flooding last week. So all this rain is on top of all the rainfall we had last week. So there's that potential for some more flash flooding that could occur in those areas. Otherwise, a marginal risk for DC, the metro area, and areas to the north where we could see the potential for another round of some heavier rainfall later this evening. That flood watch is still in effect until early tomorrow morning back out towards Garrett County. Otherwise, along the Blue Ridge, that one also holds till tomorrow morning as well. That's the latest update with that one. It was until 11 p.m. this evening, but it was now upgraded to early tomorrow morning. Futurecast shows us that we still have some showers around through the early afternoon before we see a bit of a break. And then we see that next round of some heavier rainfall back out towards the west, spreading in and moving its way eastward through sunset, and still some showers around overnight tonight. More details on this and that 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Jackie, thank you. And some areas are under a flood watch today. Here are some reminders on flood safety from the National Weather Service. It says to prepare your home before a flood and have an emergency kit ready. NWS also advises to get to higher ground during a flood and obey evacuation orders. And you should always stay informed about weather updates. And in Maryland, Allegheny County schools are closed again today. The area is expected to see more heavy rain. It follows severe flooding last week. You can see that there on your screen. And it's not a total day off for students. They'll have a virtual learning day. And we have an update for you this morning out of Fairfax County, Virginia. Police identified the woman who was killed after a tree fell on top of her car in Alexandria last week. Police say they found Juliana Russell inside of her car after getting a call about a tree falling. It happened on Fry and Pole Road in the Woodlawn area. That's where she died. The incident is still under investigation. And an update to a story we brought to you about multiple fires at a Colorama home yesterday morning. DC fire crews are investigating what caused the second fire to happen at the home, owned by the Navy secretary. Fire crews say the first fire was started by an electrical problem, and the secretary and his family were not living in the house at the time. It was undergoing renovations. Staying in the district, police are investigating a deadly shooting in Navy Yard. It happened at around 9 last night on 3rd Place Southeast. Police believe the victim is a young adult. He died at the scene, and as of right now, no arrests have been made. If you have any information, you are asked to contact DC Police. Also in the district, a deadly shooting in Northeast next to a track meet with dozens of elementary school students. DC News Now's Max Marcilla spoke to families at the track right after that incident.
I'm just so grateful to God that he's okay.
Ashley Jackson and her 11-year-old son Adam are glad they're here to tell the story of what happened.
I really thought it was like a flare gun went off, but once it went off more than twice, I knew that was something else.
What he heard was a deadly shooting on the sidewalk closest to this field at the former Spingarn High School just off Benning Road Northeast. Police say 3 men got out of a car to shoot and kill a man walking here.
We're going to do everything we can to find out who these individuals are, and we're going to hold them accountable.
Right now, police haven't been able to find them. They did find what they believe was their getaway car lit on fire and left behind in the Fort Lincoln neighborhood. Meanwhile, the young track athletes, while physically safe, are shaken up.
Everyone started running, and
a teacher pulled me and I hid behind this chair, and my other group went into this different area. It was pretty scary. Oh, we were scared. We didn't know how this was like. This was our first time in a shooting, so we were very scared.
Both 9-year-old Ellie and 11-year-old Adam say teachers and coaches gave good direction to keep them safe. Both have trained for instances like this one in school.
It's just sad that kids can't even come to a track meet and, not experience some type of, violence like this.
And police have not yet identified the man who was killed, but they don't believe he was involved in the track meet. Staying in the district, a meeting in Navy Yard to help stop teen crime. This past weekend, a large crowd of young people gathered in the area with reports of fights and robberies breaking out. And police say 3 arrests were made. One police captain saying more cameras and officers could be the solution.
There's no such thing as too many resources. If I had everything that I'd want more. We're working on trying to get more cameras out there as well. Another thing that Emek and the BIT have been great at have been trying to connect us with property owners and property management, and they're making those real investments into that camera program. So that way our real-time crime center is going to have access to that.
Officials say with incidents involving teens, they need to use a multifaceted approach. Some potential solutions include stricter curfews, having more positive police interaction with kids, and for parents to take accountability. And happening now, House Republicans are looking to pass the big, beautiful bill. Yesterday, President Trump went to Capitol Hill to drum up support for the legislation. The bill includes $5 trillion worth of tax cuts along with cuts to Medicaid. Some Republicans having issues with the bill, saying they want more requirements added for Medicaid. The Congressional Budget Office says the legislation would increase the deficit by around $3 trillion over the decade, which also concerns some representatives. Trump spoke against Republicans that oppose the bill, but he says he's confident it will pass.
Anybody that didn't support it as a Republican, I would consider to be a fool. I think we have unbelievable unity. I think we're going to get everything we want.
House Speaker Mike Johnson reiterating the House needs to get this passed before Memorial Day, and GOP leaders work to past midnight to convince the holdouts. And today, dozens of Americans are heading to Capitol Hill to convince their representatives to vote against the big, beautiful bill. The group includes people from all across the country, including some from Maryland District 1. They're speaking out against cuts to Medicaid, to SNAP, and defunding clean energy. They hope to meet face-to-face with their representatives and deliver petitions as well. And in Maryland, Governor Wes Moore is signing the state's $67 billion budget bill for 2026 into law. Governor Moore says the budget will prioritize the 3 goals he's had since the beginning of the legislative session. Those goals include modernizing the tax code, growing the economy, and investing in Marylanders. The bill will also direct more money to the manufacturing industry to help create good-paying jobs. And the University of Maryland postponing its main commencement ceremony to tomorrow after heavy rains are expected to be in the area today. Now, the change did cause disruption for some students and families traveling to College Park for the celebration, but many say they are not letting the weather dampen the mood.
We are thrilled to be here to celebrate our daughter's graduation, and with the graduation being postponed, for us it doesn't matter, no matter what it is. We're just so proud to be a part of it.
Oh, congrats to all of those graduating. Also, Muppet star Kermit the Frog will deliver this year's commencement speech at UMD. All right, it's good to see that, Jackie. Let's get a check on the forecast. And, it's really, I'm sad to see that they had to, push that graduation back because of the rain coming down, but you just don't want to chance it.
Yeah, I don't want to chance it, especially with how much rainfall we've dealt with over the last week or so. We're also talking more rainfall through the day today. The excessive rainfall outlook, slight risk back over towards western Maryland, parts of West Virginia. That's the same area that was hit by some flash flooding last week. And we could be dealing with that again, especially later this evening as another batch of some heavy rainfall is expected to develop later on. So this flood watch has been issued. So there was another one that was issued earlier this morning. This is the next one that goes into effect at 2 p.m. this afternoon. That will hold until 6 o'clock in the morning. And again, that's for Western Maryland, parts of West Virginia. Then right along the Blue Ridge, that one goes into effect at 6 p.m. this evening, and that will hold until 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So that's right along the Blue Ridge. The thing that is with excessive runoff, we could be dealing with some of that flash flooding there. Futurecast shows us that through the day today, that batch of rain this morning continues to lift out. We'll see some dry times into the early afternoon, but then it's this cluster of some heavy downpours that could potentially have some lightning too. Camera that out, but we'll see that pushing in from the west, and that's back over towards the mountains region. Parts of the I-81 corridor could be dealing with that right around that evening commute time frame. It's to be of 6 p.m. Paused it to show you what we can expect, and that could reduce visibility, could also create some ponding or even some flooding as well. That will continue to work its way eastward through at least sunset. Then we're looking at still some scattered showers around through the overnight tonight, and even right around midnight into early tomorrow morning, some of those scattered showers too. So as we look towards 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, not quite as heavy rainfall out there, just maybe a spot shower here and there. We're just looking at scattered shower activity out there for your Thursday. High temperatures expected to climb a little bit higher than the day today. Today, though, high temperatures only into those upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, we should be seeing those high temperatures right near 70 degrees. So today, again, it is a DMV first warn day for that threat of some ponding or even some flash flooding for some areas. Right around 70 tomorrow with some scattered showers around, otherwise mainly cloudy, and still looking mainly cloudy on Friday. Spot shower chance, but as we round out this work week, and as a lot of people are traveling on Friday for Memorial Day weekend, at least we're not tracking that heavy rainfall like we've dealt with, especially last week, or what we were going to be dealing with through the day today. Here's the rest of that 8-day outlook. We're looking at high temperatures right near 70 though for Saturday and Sunday. I know it's a little bit below normal for this time of the year, especially for Memorial Day weekend, so it's not looking quite too warm out there for the pool. So again, heads up, it might be a little too cool for the pool this weekend. Memorial Day Monday, we're looking at increasing clouds. It will be a little bit warmer that day, at least a little bit closer to normal. We'll see highs lower 70s. There's that chance for some isolated showers developing later on at night. Aside from that, we're just looking at more of those clouds building in through the day.
All right, lots of rain there, Jackie. Thank you. And GW Parkway reopening earlier this morning. Park Police posting this update on social media last night. Crews have been working on the parkway since Friday's deadly storm, clearing dozens of downed trees. Our Daniel Hamburg has more on the reopening and some concerns from neighbors.
Tree trunks by the truckload were hauled away Tuesday afternoon. Crews working to clear debris on the GW Parkway 4 days after Friday's storm.
I can see the difference in the view from here.
The National Park Service says after checking out dozens of damaged trees, the road is safe for the public.
It's an issue. We all want to be safe, right? Getting back and forth to work or driving even to the grocery store.
Some neighbors above the parkway are still concerned.
My daughter was with me and she said, "Mom, I can't believe we're driving on the parkway. Some of these trees still look very dangerous." So yeah, I mean, I do feel like there needs to be a lot more attention given to the trees and our safety.
Widespread damage across Fairfax County could be an issue of maintenance, according to arborist Spencer Courtney.
Like they haven't followed a regular pruning schedule where you're having the foliage thinned out to reduce that sail effect that kind of happens when wind catches those leaves.
More rain Wednesday could cause an issue with excessive moisture.
A lot of trees start to develop something called root rot, which is caused by a mold that is due to overwatering, or you're seeing soil runoff where the soil isn't as compacted as it was before.
And that could cause the roots to break through the surface. When in doubt, Courtney says to contact your local arborist.
Now some big news from WMATA. Metro says it has the green light to start using automated trains on 2 more lines. Starting Friday, trains on the green and yellow line will automatically speed up, slow down, and stop at stations. Metro will continue to have train operators working in the cab. And while automation has been running on the red line since December, a Metro safety group raised concerns about the number of times automated trains blew past where they were supposed to stop. But WMATA says there have been no safety issues or red signal violations for Red Line trains, and the group has now agreed to allow the automated service to expand. And that's all the time we have for you this morning on DC News Now, so be sure to stick around for more news and weather coming up on the news at noon.